I gotta be honest, man, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna say in this video, but the topic is open-handed playing. So I'm just gonna wing it. If you're curious about it, stick around, could be interesting. So if you're unfamiliar with the term open-handed drumming or open-handed playing, or maybe you're not unfamiliar with it, you've heard it, and you just don't know what it is. Open-handed playing is not really that big of a deal. Kind of isn't, and it is at the same time. But basically what it is, most right-handed drummers, we play this way, right? Right hand crosses over, left hand underneath, boom. This is cross-handed. Open-handed is like this. So it's basically reversed. You're playing the hats now with the left hand and the snare with the right hand. So it just kind of frees up everything in the middle. Now a lot of open-handed players that you see playing right-handed kits, they're doing so because they're actually left-handed. And it's their way of sort of adapting to a right-handed kit. But many open-handed players are right-handed. And they just prefer to do it this way because they dig the benefits of, you know, having that open space in the middle and not crossing your hands over all the time. So I guess I'm just going to introduce you to the idea of playing open-handed, maybe point out some of the benefits, and then if you're interested in doing it, you can pursue it on your own. So a couple of reasons why you might want to consider pursuing the idea of open-handed playing. Number one is that it opens up a new layer of creativity as far as sticking combinations. Particularly, you know, any type of sort of rudiment-based type of sticking. It's cool because, you know, when you're playing open-handed like this, you can start getting into combinations that you might not normally play this way. So once you really start getting into, you know, taking advantage of accents and stuff like that, it can be, like, especially for linear type of stuff, you can come up with some really cool sort of dynamic combinations, you know, when you're playing stuff between the hats and your toms and your snare and whatever. And then the other benefit to open-handed playing is that there's sort of this weird sense of freedom that you get between the hands. Like there's nothing sort of getting in the way with open-handed playing. So, you know, some of y'all might actually want to consider, because this is an option for you, most people when they think of open-handed playing, it's like this. But right-handed drummers can also play open-handed by sort of adjusting their setup with placing a set of hats on the right side. This can actually be really comfortable. I mean, I don't care how long you've been playing as a right-handed drummer. This is always going to feel more comfortable than this. So it's going to, you know, take a little bit of rigging up. You might want to get a remote pedal or something so you can control your hi-hats over here from your left foot, just like you normally would. But playing this way, it's just a really super comfortable way to play. And again, it frees all of this up in the middle. Like there's no crossing over to worry about. Now, if open-handed playing is something that you want to actively pursue, you got a lot of work ahead of you because there's a lot more to it than just being able to do this. The challenge with getting into the whole open-handed thing is because everything is reversed now, you really got to get your left hand up to snuff. The goal, at least it was for me, the goal for me was making sure that I get the same, you know, relative level of facility with my left hand as I do with my right hand. So that means, you know, being able to play fast 16ths, being able to play a shuffle, you know, getting the whole, you know, upstrokes and downstrokes and all of that kind of stuff. Getting all of that stuff down. Because here's the thing, if I'm playing a groove and, you know, I'm just laying down like a straight 4 or something, and I'm playing 8s on the hats and I'm accenting the quarters, if you close your eyes, you shouldn't be able to tell when I'm switching back and forth. So that means making sure that, you know, my hand moves the same way, my left hand, as my right hand would if I was doing the same thing. And that takes work. You know, and it's the same thing as if, you know, if I wanted to do some crashing on this side while hitting the snare, same deal. Like I want it to feel as unnaturally natural as possible. And then the other thing that a lot of drummers don't consider when, you know, pursuing the whole open-handed thing, a lot of the attention is on the left hand when you do that. They forget about the right. The right hand, same thing, man. There's a lot of things that you're gonna have to relearn with the right hand because when you're playing grooves this way, your left hand's doing all the dancing, right? It's playing all the ghost notes and doing all the drags and all that type of stuff. It's not until you attempt to do all that stuff with the right hand on the snare, that's when you start to realize, wait a minute, this is kind of tricky. Now again, you could probably eliminate all of these hassles if you decide that you're just going to take a pair of hats, put them on your right side, and control it with a remote pedal. Because this way, you get the best of both worlds, right? You don't have to relearn anything. And, you know, you still get the whole freedom between both the hands. And if you got a double kick on the floor, it's going to be even better because there's a lot of things that you're going to be able to do that's just going to feel better to play. This, you know, from an ergonomic standpoint, is really the most natural way to play the drums anyway. It's not this way. This is not bad. This feels way better. The only downside, of course, is that, you know, if you're ever looking to play any type of 16th note type of patterns, that's going to feel goofy. So that's why, you know, you got to have an even balance, you know, have a pair of hats on both sides so that you can at least do this. But just for the experimental aspect of it all, just for that alone, it's worth giving it a shot. So anyways, that was more or less just an introduction to the whole idea of open-handed playing. If this is something that you're interested in, you know, you need a couple of exercises to sort of get you into the whole thing, just drop a comment below. You know, if there's enough people interested, I'll maybe think of a video or two where I can give you some exercises on, you know, how to get that whole thing happening. Quick tip though, for starters, one thing that you want to make sure of is that both your hands are even. So one hand can do exactly what the other one does. So if you can play a shuffle with the right hand, make sure you can shuffle with the left. If you can swing spang-a-lang with the right, make sure you can do it with the left. You know what I mean? Keep these as even as possible. And that's a good start. Anyways, that's it for that. I'm out. But before I go, if you're a drum nerd like me, if you've been digging this t-shirt, guess what? This is one of mine. This is in the merch shop. And there's a sale going on right now. Use the discount code DIDDLES. That'll give you 15% off all your orders until the end of April. Link will be in the description box if you want to hit that after you watch this video. Take you over to the shop. This comes in a few colors. There's some other really cool stuff in there. Make sure you go check it out. But that's it. New viewers, new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming out. Right there is a subscribe button. Make sure you mash that before you bounce. Share this video if you dig it. Drop a comment if you got one. Like, subscribe. Get one of these tees. See you next video.